morning, everyone. This is beautiful Super Bowl Sunday. This is Athletes Incorporated. I'm Harold Johnson. This is Trey Johnson. You can catch us on IBTV at .USA, Roku, and YouTube. First segment, we're going to talk a little bit about the NFL and what's going on. We're going to talk about the hirings and some of the firings, some of the trades that have gone on. Trey, who are some of the guys who got fired this year?
I know Andre Caldwell got fired this year, and he was the Detroit Lions coach. He actually had been there for 3 or 4 years.
That's Jim Caldwell.
Jim Caldwell. He had been there for 3 or 4 years, and he got fired. Who were some other guys? John Fox from the Chicago Bears. He used to be a Denver Broncos coach. Chuck Pagano also got fired this year. Bruce Arians retired.
And Chuck Pagano has Colorado ties. His family's from Boulder, Colorado, played at Fairview High School. His dad's a high school Hall of Fame coach here.
Yeah. And also, what else we got here? The general managers, David Gettleman for the New York Giants also was fired. Jerry Reese from the New York Giants was fired. Brian Gutekunst, he was also fired from the Green Bay Packers.
No, he was promoted.
He was promoted.
Packers up to general manager.
Okay.
But we had 5 openings, and then we had the retirement of Bruce Arians, who then pretty much was for his health. He's been for a long time. Yeah. Now the coaches who we retained their jobs, but they're still on hot seat. Yeah. Marvin Lewis from Cincinnati Bengals, who we just knew was going to be fired, but he held on. Vance Joseph from the Broncos, who was reported that he was going to be fired, but he's held on. And now John Elway says that he's going to have much more to do with what's going on. He's going to let him coach and let him get his own people. We'll see. Hugh Jackson from the Cleveland Browns is holding on. That's another one that it's wow. Bill O'Brien, who has been at odds with the organization down in Texas, is going to hold on. I think mainly because of the great quarterback that they have, and he likes him. Yeah. Dirk Koetter from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, hot seat, he's holding on. And of course Jay Gruden from the Washington Redskins, he's holding on. This is about the second year or third year that he's been reported to be being let go.
Right.
Now, the people that have taken over these jobs, really we start with the who's who, and that would be Gruden, Gruden's brother, is going to the Oakland Raiders.
Soon to be the Las Vegas Raiders. So he signed.
Soon to be the Las Vegas Raiders.
That's what I said. Soon to be the Las Vegas Raiders.
And
he actually signed a contract which is over the course of 10 years, $100 million, folks. And for all you guys that watch football, this money is guaranteed. So no matter what, he's going to get $100 million. So it'll be big in Vegas, and John Gruden is going to really energize that organization. So,
and then we got the Chicago Bears. They let Fox go on. Of course, they have Matt Nagy, Gruden with the Oakland Raiders. Pat Shurmur is the new head coach with the New York Giants. Yeah. Josh McDaniels is the offensive coordinator, and he'll be the new coach with the Indianapolis Colts. And then the defense coordinator from the Pats, Patricia, will be the new coach with the Arizona Cardinals.
Right.
So we have a bunch of name changes, bunch of different things going on with the NFL, and of course we have the NFL draft coming up.
Well, first though, Dad, we also have the Hall of Fame class that came out.
That's right. They just announced them yesterday.
8 Hall of Famers: Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, Brian Urlacher, Brian Dawkins, to name a few.
And then we have the 2 gentlemen that were named off the senior committee.
Right.
29 years it's taken to get Big Robert Brazile, who was the all-time leading great linebacker from at that time it was the Houston Oilers.
Right.
I mean, it's really hard to believe, though, guys, that it's 45 years, and finally Jerry Kramer, who has to be one of the all-time great Green Bay Packers, the first offensive guard that I ever heard of that really was put out front. He led that great Packers power sweep, and this is 45 years. He's an old man now, but he finally got in. So we have those 2, and we also have Mr. Beathard from he'll be inducted for his work as a GM at several different spots. So it's going to be really a nice Hall of Fame.
Right.
There's always bits of controversy for me. The only one that I question a little bit is Brian Dawkins.
Brian Dawkins, yeah. He wasn't the greatest safety. There's a lot more deserving safeties. Denver Broncos have Steve Atwater, who was a pure safety. I think he was much more deserving. Just to name one safety, I know Ed Reed doesn't come up for eligibility until next year.
And
so
he should be first
ballot.
Yeah.
Should be no question about that.
Did we mention Ray Lewis?
We did mention Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis also got in. He was first ballot, obviously, one of the greatest linebackers in NFL history. And we also had the NFL honors yesterday on Saturday. Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time, whether you like it or not, that's the truth. It's not up for debate. He won the MVP.
Where is that? Do we have that?
Yeah, we have that. Actually, I have an entire list.
It's really nice to know that some of these kids are being recognized.
Right.
We have J.J. Watt won the Walter Payton Award for his work during the
floods down in Houston.
Floods down in Houston, which was really great. He raised great money. Really a fine young man. We have this one is really something, folks. You know that the offensive rookie of the year and the defensive rookie of the year both are New Orleans Saints.
Yep.
That's Alvin Kamara, the running back, and Marshawn Lattimore. The only other time that has happened that I know of, and give us some comments and some feedback,
below,
folks.
Please.
The only other time that I know that this happened with the Chicago Bears when Gale Sayers was the offensive rookie of the year and Dick Butkus was the defensive rookie of the year.
Yep.
Then we have this year, folks, the offensive player of the year and the defensive player of the year, both Los Angeles Rams. You have Big Aaron Donald on the defensive side, and you have Todd Gurley on the offensive side. That's really something. I'm trying to figure out if I remember a time when we had both offensive and defense. Right. And one of the things to remember about this, folks, these are great to be recognized like this, but neither one of those teams are in the Super Bowl.
Right.
So that's what it comes
Very
down
interesting.
to. Mm-hmm. Where you can lead your team to.
But it goes to show you that how important it is to have a quarterback. You know, have a number one quarterback. The MVP of this year is Tom Brady. He's in the quarterback. So this is the NFL is always going to be a quarterback-starved league. Yeah. So that's.
And then you have to look at Coach of the Year. Los Angeles Rams.
Sean McVay.
Did a great job. So they have picked up all major awards except for the most valuable player, but they're not there.
And honestly, folks, I think the Los Angeles Rams are 1 year away.
Yeah.
I think Jared Goff, who I thought was a bust personally, I think that they're going to be rolling next year.
And then you got to think one of the big trades this week, since we're talking about quarterbacks.
Right.
Alex Smith goes to the
Washington Redskins
for a third-round pick, and Kendall Fuller, one of the great young defensive backs.
One of the great ones.
And then we have, we got to mention Kirk Cousins has come out with that his number one pick is Minnesota Vikings.
He's from that area. He's from around that area.
Now, he said that the Broncos are definitely in the mix. Yeah. Which I would say, folks, that if the Broncos don't do what they have to do to get him, that's going to say something about where the organization is going. If they can get him without giving up picks, just giving up money, that is the way to go. If the Broncos waste a first-round pick on another quarterback, it will be just as Einstein said, insanity. Doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Kirk Cousins, you have a professional quarterback who you know what he can do. You've seen what he can do.
With subpar talent around him and no running game.
Pay him his money. Take that big take that big kid in the first round. Get that line together. Yep. We got the kid who has Colorado ties and went to Arizona State.
Yep, Kalen Ballage in the third or fourth round.
Get him in the third or fourth round. Build that team. They say that the big kid that the Broncos took from Michigan is ready.
Jake Butt,
the tight end. So there you have a tight end that is as big and as strong and as fast as Gronk.
Exactly. And I think our defense is comparable to the Minnesota Vikings. So
yeah, if they come back with a few things, I think you're right. Yeah. Now they're going to completely dismantle that no-fly zone. Those two will be gone. Yeah. Who are the two that will be gone?
Well, one's going to be gone for sure. Aqib Talib's going to get traded, probably NFL draft day trade. And also, I think they might get rid of Darian Stewart. But
Yeah, might do that, but we'll tell you what, this is the end of this first segment. We will come to the second segment and have more to talk
about, and it'll be about everything that's going on in the NBA, the trades, the Cavaliers collapse, and potential landing spots with LeBron. So come check us out on the second segment.